So yesterday we discussed about the JavaScript. We use JavaScript in service now for our most of the scripting areas. We do, though this service now uses service now built on Java, but it uses for the development for the developer development service now uses JavaScript. Okay, and JavaScript is a loosely coupled language, a loosely typed language. So what it means is you can declare any variable, unlike Java or a C++. So we don't need to define any type to the variable. Okay, what it
Okay.
is. So in Java you can declare one variable. So where will we run the JavaScript? In particularly in service now, both server side and client side we will run the JavaScript. And for practice purpose, you can use the script background.
Okay.
Scripts background here where you can use all the JavaScript. You can practice here as well. uh, Or else if you want to do it in browser, you can right click on that. You can open a browser tools. Depending upon the web browser you are using, it will changes the option name. So in case you are going with the Chrome, it would be like a developer tools. If you are using Mozilla Firefox and all, like it would be so you can have this option is like inspect element. So what it will give you is it will give you the HTML DOM structure and also some other options as well. So whatever the network internet REST calls are going, it will be come under this. But what we majorly our focus is in a console.
Okay.
JavaScript, if you are running it in browser, JavaScript does not need any like a software like a runtime environment for like Java. If you want to execute Java you have to be install the Java SDK. Or if you want to execute C, you need a C compiler and all. For JavaScript, you don't need anything as such. You can use directly use in browser control. No, if you want to create one .js file, a JavaScript file extension is .js, like .c, the .c++, like other languages. So if you want to execute that file, you might require the Node.js. So JavaScript nowadays in the modern applications, JavaScript will be you can use JavaScript in the web sub browser side and the server side as well. So in such cases, we will use the Node.js. Node.js is a runtime environment for the JavaScript. Okay. So in the C++ or a Java or any other low level like these languages. So what we have to do is before declaring a variable you have to define the type as well, like if I wanted to give some integer, so integer variable, I have to define int or whatever the variable name it is. Then I have to I only allowed to put the I only allowed to set a value of integer. So I cannot set a value of a floating point. I cannot set a value of a string because those languages are uh, tightly coupled languages, so that it won't allow the type. Once you define the type, you're only allowed to save the same data. But in JavaScript, it is different. It is a loosely coupled language. So we will declare some variables with a var, let, and const variables. We'll be seeing in the coming classes. So what I did is I declared a variable and I have instantiated one string called six in the string format. So if I print in the browser, if you are using, you have to use the console log. console.log. So it will simply print the result. Uh, okay,
Okay.
it's just a logging statement only. You just have to give the. So if I want to reassign reinitialize with some other variable, I can do that as well. I can do that 8.5. It will allow. It won't object you. This is what loosely coupled language. Okay. So whatever the value you are seeing here, 06, 8.8, or a true or false, true, all these called literals. Sorry,
Okay.
or value or a literals. And the variable, the name we are giving to that value is called variable. And also it is also called identifier as well. We're identifying that value with some other character, sequence of character, right? So an identifier is a sequence of characters that represents a value. Okay, this is the value, and the test is representing the value of 6. Okay, and JavaScript is a uh, uh, so in JavaScript, semicolons are not mandatory. All these are options, though it is optional, but it is a good practice to have after every uh, line, every
Step.
statement. It is called the each line in a program is called statement. So okay, and we'll write comments. So JavaScript is an interpreted language. What it means is, so JavaScript does not need any intermediary compilers like C and Java. So what happens in Java or C, first you will write all the code, and you have to compile it. What does the compile do is, compile identifies the mistakes in the code and report you all at once. Okay, after that we have to run the execute the program so that it will give you the output. But in JavaScript does not. JavaScript is an interpreted language. C Java is a compiled language. So where there is a pre-step compilation has to be done in to run the actual code. So so in JavaScript is an interpreted language. The interpreter is smart enough to execute directly the code in the browser. So what in the compiler languages, so once you compile, it will give you the all the list of programs, all the list of errors in the program. No matter you write 1,000 lines or so, some if there is 100 issues, it will show you, it will give you the list of the errors. But in interpreted language, so interpreted language execute the code by line. So if you are running 1,000 lines of program, so suppose assume that in the line number 5 there is a mistake. So the interpreter will show you that mistake and it will stop the program there only, until unless you fix that issue in the line number 5th. It won't execute the rest of the code. After you fixing that code in the line number 5th, so it will again execute from the 6th, 7th, 8th. Suppose in the 105th line you're having one mistake, so it will stop there again, until unless you fix that individual mistakes. It will show one mistake at a time, one error at a time. Not, it won't give you the all the errors beforehand. Okay, and comments and JavaScript is a case sensitive language. So it is very important to understand, like small a, suppose capital A is not equal to
Small.
lowercase a, false. If you're giving name as a where first name equal to some test, and okay, first name equal to test, and where, where first name equal to, so these two are different things. Okay, is the case sensitive. This is the one we have to remember while declaring any variables. Okay, and the white spaces are, they have no meaning in JavaScript. What it means is you are declaring a variable where, and you took a long space, and you are giving one a tst variable, and you are giving like equal to, and 6 you're giving. So it will be considered it as a, it will clear out all the, it will ignore all the white spaces in the code. So if I print that, it will 6 will print. Okay. And also comments. Comments are very important in any programming language. Uh, they will annotate the code of what you are writing. For the simple codes, it would be very easy to understand. But when you are going through the longer codes, like 100 lines, 200, 600, 700, you have to write sometimes for 5,000 lines as well. Code. There might be a chances, not exactly uh, confirm, but there might be a chances of like when you're writing a longer codes, if you don't write any sort of comments, what it will does is when you are writing your code, it will be pretty understandable after even for you as well. It is very difficult to understand after revisiting after some time. And also for it is very difficult part to understand someone's code. If someone new new developer comes into the team, if they want to work on the same script, it will be very difficult for them to understand. Sometimes it is very impossible. Okay, so so in such cases, so putting a comment, good comment, good meaningful comment will give you the uh, some information about that logic, why you have written that code and what it does. So in JavaScript, you can write comments in a two types, two manners. One is a single line comment, and the other is a multi-line comment. So single line comment can be written as like a two backslashes, and this is a single line comment. Okay, it is a single line comment. And the other one is multi-line comment. Multi-line comment here backslash star ends with the counter. So this is a multi-line comment. Whatever you wri- write in uh, within this characters, it will be considered it as a multi-line comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, it's clear.
Okay. This is the multi-line comment. Comments are very important, but at the same time, don't overwrite your comments with the code. Okay. And after that, and after that we discussed about the way data types. So mainly we have a, there are a mainly, yep, I forgot. There's a reserved words. So in JavaScript, there are words you cannot use them as a variable names. Okay, for example, this where is a keyword, reserved word, so you cannot use this as a variable. Where space where you cannot use because it will give you error. Syntactical error, unexpected token with where. So reserved words you can be reserved words in JavaScript. Yep. So these are the list of the list of words you cannot use them as a variable names. Okay, these are the words you cannot use: break, care, go to, if, in. All these you cannot use it as a variable names. Okay, and the data types these are the concepts are which are common in every programming language. Whatever you want to learn, like you want to learn a Python, you want to learn a Java, you want to learn some other language, some other new language which is recently introduced. So these concepts are pretty much same. The only difference is the way they are writing this syntax. So data types, every programming language having the data types, every programming language having the variables how we can declare them, and scope, and operators. Operators means like arithmetic operation, addition, subtraction, all these things, and the logical operations and all. And the conditional statements. Conditional statements are a decision state. Condition statements or a decision statements which are if it should will decide something like a yes or no. If if else if else, or a switch statements are the conditional statements in JavaScript. And the loops we use it for a iteration, like if you want to repeat the same step for 100 times, like adding adding first 100 numbers. What you do is you are taking one number and you are incrementing and you are adding it to the sum, and again you are again so incrementing the number. You're like, oh, you are adding one two, and for the to and to the sum you are adding three. For that sum you are adding four. This is an iteration. So you won't write like 100 times a plus b kind of code. We will use iterate loops. In loops we have 4 5 types of loops that we are going to discuss. And functions are the snippet of code which we will be using repetitively. Okay, you have written some code addition of two numbers. So and every time in your program you have to add two numbers. You don't use that additional operation. What you will do is you will return one function at some place, or a starting or ending of the program, and then call that function. That function will takes two parameters and then give it back to you the results sum. These are the functions, and we can write a functions in a different and different styles. There are 4 5 styles we can write uh, methods, sorry, functions. And the data miscellaneous, there's a type of operator which will give you the what type of a data it is. Okay, suppose type of here we have a first name. Type type of first name. If we type this, it will give you the string because it is a string type. Okay, and we will okay. And mainly that there are two types of data variables are there. Mainly it is segregated as two data types. One is primitive data type, Other one is a non primitive. So primitive non primitive also called a object data type or a complex data type or a reference data type. Okay, and it is mutable. Primitives also called a immutable data type that you cannot change the data. Okay, and so primitive data type, in primitive data type we have a six types of data types are there, six mainly. Okay, out of this we can't use the begin in our service now, because service now as of now only custom applications can use the latest JavaScript. In JavaScript there is a two versions. One is a older JavaScript and other one is a ECMAScript. Before 2015 JavaScript is called JavaScript. After 2015 from starting from 2015 it is called ECMAScript. Okay, it is an advanced Java, next gen JavaScript. It has a whole bunch of features. Okay, in this course we will be covering all the new features as well as the old features, but new features we cannot run it in a service or not all. Okay, and so in the primitive data type we have five methods, like six six types of da- data types are there. And the non primitive there are two types of data, and functions are also objects. Functions, we can include the functions as well under the data type. Okay, and then number. So this number includes, and number data type includes number data type includes all the integer and all the integer values and the floating point values. What is the integer values? My minus info, my minus 100, 0, 1, whatever the number it is. Okay, these are the flow, so integer numbers. In JavaScript, in Python, in C++, they have a separate data type for the integers. Okay, and floating numbers include, so what decimal point numbers like uh, minus one, negative decimals to the positive decimals. Okay, uh, comma 0.55, comma 4.78. All these are called decimal points. Okay, so this numbers, number data type includes all the decimal points and the so integer values. Okay, and after that we have string string data type. The string data type is a string data type includes a single character or a sequence of characters. Okay, so it can be a single 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 character, and strings are wrapped with covered with single quote or a double quote. It can be, it can be double quote a quoted with double quotes, or uh, sorry, single, so single car quoted with the single quotes. Whatever it is under it is wrapped by the single quote or a double quote, you can use. Those are called strings. Okay, and you cannot use one, you shouldn't start with double quote, and and you shouldn't end with a single quote. It is a syntax error. You have to end with what you have started with. Okay, yeah, if you're started with the double quote, you have to end with the double quote. So in between, if you want to put some character, uh, put some character double quote. Okay, I wanted to test. I want to print like this. Okay, uh, t- test is double quote pa fast. Okay, if I want to print like this, I cannot use the double quotes two times. Okay, if you put like this, what it JavaScript contains is JavaScript, when it is started double quotes, it will wait for the end double quotes, so your string will be ended here only. Okay, so in such cases you have to start with a single quote. If you are using any double quotes within the code, you have to start with a single quote and ends with the single quote. You can use the in between now. Hey, the meeting will be end in less than a minute, so please join after 10 minutes. Okay, I'll try to purchase as soon as possible the subscription, or I'll move it to Zoom. Sorry,
Google Meets.
Google Meet from tomorrow.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Okay, please, I urge you to join after 10 minutes.
Okay, sure.
The moment